My identity is related to sex in a much deeper way than my sexuality.
Ever wondered what really goes on behind Hollywood's glittering screen? What dark secrets are buried beneath the glow of those star-studded and red carpets? How did some of Hollywood's brightest lesbian stars meet tragic, mysterious, and sometimes downright horrific ends? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the 30 worst ways lesbian Hollywood actresses have died, lifting the veil of controversy and secret struggles that define their lives and deaths. Are you ready to jump into these interesting Hollywood tales? Number 1. Tula Bankhead, the rebel with a dark side. Tula Bankhead was the peak of the Hollywood wild child. She was famous for her low-pitched voice and for her outrageous life. She was known as an actress, but also as the infamous party animal. Bankhead, an open bisexual, had multiple rumors of relationships with other men and women. Her supposed drug and alcohol use and scandalous love life made her a defendant of her times. She died of pneumonia at 66, but the scandalous behavior continues to be the story that will forever live on through the corridors of Hollywood. Fun fact, Bankhead's infamous quip, "My father warned me about men and booze, but he never mentioned women and cocaine," still echoes as evidence of her crazy personality.
I don't want to pry into your personal affairs, darling, but you know what's the matter with you. You've been reading Kipling.
Number 2. Barbara Stanwyck, Hollywood's quiet rebel. Barbara Stanwyck was not as wild as Bankhead, but her tough exterior and unwillingness to play according to Hollywood's rules made her a rebel in the eyes of many. Known for her straight-shooting personality, Stanwyck's personal life, especially regarding matters of women, was strictly private. Though rumors surrounded Stanwyck, she never confirmed nor denied any of them. On the other hand, her cold personality toward the press and Hollywood's elites made her appear evil to some. She died of heart failure at 82, but the mystery into her personal life remains to date. Stanwyck is said to have lived for decades, though she had gone through criticism through and through. She did not apologize, but rather held on to who she was. What a queen.
And it's very rewarding when you see the climax.
Number 3. Patricia Highsmith, living by own rules. Patricia Highsmith is one of the best-known novelists. Though one cannot question her career as a novelist, her life as a bisexual and complicated relationships have placed her at the center of Hollywood's forbidden circles. Openly critical of Hollywood's treatment of women, she actively worked to push against societal norms. Highsmith was often described as misanthropic. She had a difficult personality and explosive relationships, and her own death from lung cancer at 74 was nothing compared to how she had lived. Though the reputation for being one of life's most difficult and evil women lives on largely because of her personal scandal mongering and confrontations.
The taking of life. It's because it's a real mystery to me.
Number 4. Jean Acker, the silent screen heartbreaker. She was an actress of the silent era of Hollywood, married to a silent film icon, Rudolph Valentino. The marriage was a honeymoon that was never consummated. A lesbian, she was, in fact, trapped in a marriage for convenience while being romantically involved with women. Her failed marriage and her relationships with other women behind the glamour and shine of Hollywood were like candy or gossip mills, by which she was accused of deception and manipulation. Acker died at age 84, but her life and death by heart failure was overshadowed by scandal. Number 5. Salka Viertel, the activist with secrets. Screenwriter and confidant to some of Hollywood's biggest stars, Salka Viertel was a polarizing figure known for her rumored relationships with women like Greta Garbo and her activism during the McCarthy era. Her vocal opposition to the Hollywood blacklist put her at odds with many in the industry, as she fought passionately for the rights of artists targeted for their political beliefs. This courage to speak out made her both admired and hated. Many saw her as a dangerous figure in a climate of fear and repression. Despite these challenges, Viertel lived a remarkable life, passing away at the age of 89, and her contributions to cinema and literature are undeniable. Her influence in shaping the careers of several legendary actresses, including Garbo, showcased her talent as a writer and her understanding of the industry's inner workings. Viertel's legacy is a proof of her resilience and commitment to both her art and her principles, leaving an engraved mark on Hollywood history. Number 6. Mercedes DeAosta, the Hollywood Siren. A playwright and poet, Mercedes DeAosta was romantically and publicly affiliated with two of Hollywood's most glamorous women, Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich. Mercedes was openly lesbian in an age where such a thing did not exist. Because she made this thing known, many of the inner circle of Hollywood shunned her. Charges of manipulating her relationships to her own advantage earned her other labels, manipulative or bad. DeAosta died of a brain tumor at 75, but the legend for producing scandalous relationships remains as part of her even after her death. Number 7. Marlene Dietrich, the Cold Femme Fatale. She was striking, talented, and icy in demeanor. Marlene Dietrich was an openly bisexual woman with relationships with both men and women, though she kept much of her personal life private. Faced with Hollywood's expectations of female stars, Dietrich proved sharp-tongued, unwilling to conform to all the restrictions placed around her. Thus, she became a cliché, difficult, even sometimes evil. Marlene Dietrich died at 90, but her legacy lives on as one of Hollywood's most fascinating yet scandalous actresses.
You see, I was not there during the silent days. I was only there during the talking.
8. Frances Farmer, the actress who fell apart. Tragedy is a Hollywood screenwriter's cliché, but in the case of Frances Farmer, it is real life. A popular and promising actress, Farmer's life career was not dominated by her mental illness and addiction. Her erratic behavior led to a cycle of repeated institutionalizations, for which she underwent horrible treatments. Hollywood labeled her an unstable, dangerous person, abandoning her. Although her sexual orientation was never officially confirmed, scandals related to her relationships with women only increased the controversy surrounding her life. Farmer died of esophageal cancer when she was 56, which became a tragic end to a life that had been full of both suffering and sin.
I would very much like to correct some impressions which arose out of a lot of stories that were written about me, I guess.
Number 9. Dorothy Arner, the Pioneer. Dorothy Arner was one of the first female Hollywood directors who is also an open lesbian. While she broke barriers with her work, most of her personal life was wrapped in gossip and criticism. Arner's relationships, in particular with actresses, including a rumored affair with Joan Crawford, made her a boogaloo for Hollywood's moral watchdogs. Her death was at 82. Peaceful, but anything else regarding her life wasn't. Arner is a pioneer, but her overstepping of the classical and typical boundaries of gender and sexuality made her a hot potato in the eyes of society.
Go ahead and stare. I'm not ashamed. Go on, laugh. Get your money's worth. Nobody's going to hurt you.
Number 10. Edith Head, the style queen with secrets. Edith Head was known as one of the most popular costume designers in Hollywood. However, all that glitter is not always gold. Behind the beautiful texture lies a life full of secrets. There have always been rumors suggesting that Head has had romantic relationships with people both male and female, and yet her private life was not disturbed by anyone. Best known for her ruthless ambition, Head's rivals frequently referred to her as cold-blooded and calculating. Some even dubbed her evil. She died of myelofibrosis at age 83, but the scandals surrounding her private life and professional contracts have still not died down.
By the most beautiful women in the world, the Hollywood stars.
Number 11. Clara Bo, the it girl with a dark side. Hollywood's first it girl, Clara Bo, was an iconic figure of the silent film era, celebrated for her beauty, charm, and infectious personality that captivated audiences around the world. However, her personal life was fraught with significant challenges that often overshadowed her remarkable talent. Bo struggled with mental health issues, including anxiety and depression, and turned to substance abuse as a means of coping. Her relationships with both men and women, along with her scandalous love life, kept her in the headlines and made her a controversial figure in Hollywood. While she was adored for her vivid on-screen presence, her erratic behavior and public struggles with addiction earned her labels of being disturbed or troubled by both the media and the public. Despite her immense popularity and significant contributions to early cinema, Bo's crazy and wild personal life ultimately took a toll on her career and reputation. She passed away from a heart attack at the age of 60. But her tragic tale remains one of Hollywood's most cautionary legends, serving as a poignant reminder of the complex interplay between fame, personal turmoil, and the harsh realities faced by many stars of her era.
Say, listen, you. And you.
Number 12. Pavlova Nazimova, the lesbian star of the silent era. The greatest actress of the silent film era, as well as one of the best-known lesbians of her time, Pavlova Nazimova lived a bohemian life with female lovers and other creatives in her entourage, as if she were a grand queen. The unwillingness to conceal the sexuality of Nazimova brought her into the framework of the Hollywood gossip machine, and boldness in the face of social norms brought her criticism as abnormal. Coronary thrombosis at the age of 66 took away Nazimova, leaving behind a legacy of both artistic brilliance and a scandalous lifestyle. Number 13. Greta Garbo, mysterious recluse. Greta Garbo was renowned for her reclusive nature and puzzling and mysterious persona, with rumored relationships, particularly with actress Mercedes DeAosta, deepening the intrigue surrounding her life. Known for avoiding the public eye nearly all her life, Garbo maintained an aura of mystery that captivated audiences and critics alike. But her secretive behavior led many to speculate about her personal affairs, often labeling her as cold or even cold-blooded. While her choice to remain private may have stemmed from a desire for personal freedom, it also fueled public fascination and scrutiny, with some perceiving her reservation as arrogance, branding her evil in certain circles. Despite the whispers surrounding her relationships and her refusal to conform to Hollywood's expectations, her extraordinary talent and depth as an actress shone through in iconic performances in films like Anna Karenina and Camille. Garbo passed away in 1990 at the age of 84, leaving behind a complex legacy marked by remarkable artistry and an enduring air of mystery that continues to captivate audiences today. Number 14. Barbara Payton, the destroyed starlet. Barbara Payton's life highlights the dark side of Hollywood fame, a rise to stardom followed by a swift and tragic downfall. A stunning actress with enormous potential, she became entangled in a destructive whirlwind of drugs, alcohol, and highly publicized, scandalous relationships, allegedly involving both men and women. Her once glamorous career was overshadowed by her personal struggles, earning her a reputation as wild and unsafe in an industry that both glorified and shunned her rebellious lifestyle. Despite moments of brilliance on the screen, Payton's career collapsed under the weight of her chaotic personal life, and by the time she died at just 39, she was penniless, forgotten, and a cautionary tale of the perils of excess and fame.
Hello, Barney.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Van Gelder.
Number 15. Peg Entwistle, the Hollywood tragedy. Peg Entwistle became the symbol of Hollywood's darker side. Though her career was short, the story is unforgettable. She is famously known as the girl who jumped from the Hollywood sign. A struggling actress, she faced immense personal and professional hardships. There were rumors of a troubled relationship with women within her inner circle. After some years of failure in Hollywood, at the age of 24, she tragically plunged to her death from the iconic Hollywood sign. And with it, a symptomatically sorrowful reminder of how cruel Hollywood can be. And many began to speculate about personal demons driving her. We are halfway through the list. Stay tuned until the end. Number 16, Jodie Foster, the problematic icon. Jodie Foster, unlike most of the rest on this list, is, as of now, very much alive. But like the rest, her life has not been untouched by its fair share of controversies. Jodie's sexuality has always been a topic of interest, though she has kept her private life guarded. What saw her land among Hollywood's darker whispers, however, is her association with John Hinckley Jr. He attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan back in 1981. He confessed, though, to the assassination attempt as a ploy to impress Foster. That bizarre incident left a shadow over her for many years, such that people framed her as being cold. While she remains a gifted actress and director, what Foster had attached to the dark part of history tarnished her reputation.
I am single.
Number 17, Portia de Rossi, battling inner demons. Portia de Rossi made headlines once as an actress on Arrested Development and one half of the Ellen DeGeneres' Marriage. But she quickly learned that with fame comes a price. One finds acknowledgement of every personal weakness, including her own fear over sexual orientation, eating disorders, and depression. De Rossi's rise to fame was filled with such personal burdens within Hollywood, leaving many citizens to view her as just another dysfunctional, messed-up celebrity. She is far from the term evil, but her life was at the same time always marked by inner battles and thus made her a target for Hollywood's more harsh critics. Still alive and working in the industry, Portia's struggles have gifted her a complex legacy.
You know, I just didn't want to be gay, honestly. I just didn't want to be a lesbian.
Number 18, Sandra Bernard, the provocateur. Sandra Bernard is known for her biting humor and to have a no-holds-barred approach to her career. An openly bisexual actress and comedian, Bernard has endured a great deal of backlash in the years since for her outrageous antics on stage and refusal to be a part of Hollywood's standards of femininity. Some called her odd for the shocking content of her comedy and her critical takes on other stars. Though she remains successful at work, Bernard has been a lightning rod for criticism throughout her career and is one embodiment of Hollywood's daring edge.
Because tonight we're going to party like it's 1999.
Number 19, Sophie Ward, Hollywood's sued star. Sophie Ward was an actress on the rise in both British and American films. Since she came out as lesbian in the 1990s, Sophie has been surrounded by isolation, and her sexual orientation always overshadowed her potential as an actress. Her career shrunk under constant tabloid glare and judgmental industry disapproval. Like those on this list, she didn't end tragically, but her story is one of effective exile from Hollywood because of her personal life. The fact that she wasn't afraid to come out during this far less accepting period remains such an important part of her legacy.
It's a long process for me of getting in touch with how I really felt and not being in denial anymore.
Number 20, Ellen Page, Elliot Page, backlash in the face. Ellen Page, or rather Elliot Page, today was Hollywood's most fantastic young actress, starring in movies such as Juno and Inception, among other movies. She was a lesbian and an outspoken activist for LGBTQ+ issues. which makes it quite hard for him to face various criticisms from conservative media and Hollywood elites, who always regarded his activism as something that will disrupt what was always conveniently kept in the closet. Page's speaking out against commercialism and his acting as a role model for transgender men has earned him the title of being a hero, but also placed a bullseye on his back. Though he is still successful, the personal issues often place a shadow over his achievements.
Such thrill to finally be at that place in my life where I was able to do that, and grateful to have that moment.
Number 21, Elizabeth Scott, Siren Woman with Secrets. Secrecy filled the life of film noir icon Elizabeth Scott, who appeared in some of the most legendary movie noirs. Rumors about her supposed relationships with women added fire to the revelation that in an age where such truth could so easily be used to destroy careers, Hollywood was not afraid to lay the entire burden on such guilty and innocent reputations. This gossip and controversies around Scott's personal life meant she would have to deal with judgment from not only the press but also from the public while navigating Hollywood. The press affectionately described her as an icy figure who ushered manipulation. Yet, in terms of charm and beauty, she displaced not only men's heart, but also women. She was a femme fatale on and off the screen. Most of the controversies clung to Scott and were based more on rumor rather than reality, forming her reputation throughout her life. Nevertheless, she continued to have a Hollywood career and lived until the age of 92. But as one of film noir's greatest figures, her mystique transcended the later years after her death.
I understand. What you're saying is, women are made to be loved.
Number 22, Gillian Anderson, From the X-Files to Criticism. Being Agent Scully on the X-Files had well-positioned Gillian Anderson in the Style Files, but her private life, be it her love affairs or lesbian relationships, became the focus of much media attention. Though she always kept quiet over her sexuality, the openness on past affairs of the women created a stir in the Hollywood corners. Anderson was never one to follow the crowd, and her constant refusal to be fitted into any box made her an argumentative figure for anybody waiting for an old-fashioned Hollywood starlet. But still, she remains as a tough and successful presence in film and television.
You name it, honey. What do you need?
Number 23, Bessie Smith, the Empress of the Blues. Not in the traditional sense of being a Hollywood star, but one of the most influential blues vocalists is Bessie Smith. An open bisexual, Smith navigated relationships with both men and women during a time when such behavior was considered scandalous. Her unapologetic authenticity and fierce spirit made her a trailblazer in the music industry, gathering both admiration and criticism from her peers, some of whom deemed her behavior inappropriate. Smith's powerful voice and emotive performances resonated with audiences, allowing her to break racial barriers and gain significant popularity in the early 20th century. Tragically, she died in a car accident at the age of 43, but her music and larger-than-life persona continue to influence generations of artists. Smith's legacy as a bold and pioneering figure in the world of blues endures, reminding us of her profound impact on music and LGBTQ+ representation long before it became widely accepted. Number 24, Sarah Paulson, the bold actress. Popular for acting in challenging roles in American Horror Story and Ratched. An openly lesbian actress, Paulson's relationship with actress Holland Taylor, an actress 32 years her elder, has made a number of jaws drop in Hollywood. Despite the fact that Paulson has been bashed for being different and not fitting the mold of what most people expect from a Hollywood starlet, she continues to embody what most people do not. Her boldness has made her some sort of scandal in certain circles, but it's also what makes her one of the most fascinating actresses of her generation.
Oh, help me, but don't tell me to deny it.
Number 25. Ma Rainey, the blues icon. Ma Rainey is another icon among the blues singers who is known for her exploratory dialogue with lyrics that fit within an openly bisexual lifestyle. Rainey was a nonconformist to gender norms and expectations of the time, which made her an easy target for moral outrage. Said to represent the power of free women who could still sing about love and liberty, many considered dangerous or corrupting for her frank discussion of sexuality in her music. She died at 53 from heart disease, but her legacy as one of the founders of blues music and her fearlessness in embracing her sexuality have etched this singer into the industry.
Must have been women, 'cause I don't like no men.
Number 26. Kristen Stewart, Twilight's outspoken star. Kristen Stewart made it big playing Bella in the Twilight saga, but it's her personal life that rather frequently generates as much, if not more, media attention. Her coming out as bisexual was met with severe backlash from fans and from critics alike, challenging the strict traditional Hollywood norms about female sexuality. She is feisty, devil-may-care in regard to fame, and has refused to conform or fit the industry's expectations for women. So she has been quite a contagious or exciting figure among both admirers and haters. Yet, Stewart has continued to stretch herself in her professional and personal life by taking on ever more diverse and controversial roles that show off her range as an actress. With a stance for authenticity and embracing the beauty of her identity, she stands out as a rebellious figure in Hollywood, today inspiring new generations of stars to talk about issues about representation and acceptance within an industry they serve. Stewart is an example of being ahead of the game in the modern entertainment culture.
I could use a few human minutes.
Number 27. Ruby Rose, the breakout star. Ruby Rose stormed the show with Orange is the New Black. To everyone's surprise, she became an overnight sensation. A self-proclaimed open lesbian who happens to be gender fluid, Ruby Rose was put under much stress and backlash by the more reactionary elements of Hollywood. Critics slam her for her views on the LGBTQ+ community. They also critique her tattoos, androgynous looks, and a genuinely unapologetic attitude. Her life has not been troubled by tragedy. On the contrary, such a sudden rise to stardom, studded with controversy, and much of it referring to a refusal to be fitted into some conventional box.
And I thought, either I'm going to put my foot in it and accidentally say something, or I'm going to just start crying and they're going to be like, oh.
Number 28. Radcliffe Hall, the literary trailblazer. Radcliffe Hall, renowned for her groundbreaking novel, The Well of Loneliness, was a pioneering figure in LGBTQ+ history. Living openly as a lesbian, during a time of widespread societal condemnation, Hall faced significant backlash for her relationships with women, leading to her being labeled immoral and controversial. Despite these challenges, she became a literary icon whose work significantly influenced the representation of queer identities. Her courage in defying societal norms also inspired many actresses in Hollywood who admired her unapologetic authenticity. Hall passed away in 1943 from colon cancer, but her boldness and advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights continue to resonate, leaving an enduring legacy in queer history and the arts. Number 29. Ethel Waters, the trendsetter. Ethel Waters was one of the pioneering performing and singing artists whose time to fame coincided with the increase of extreme racism and homophobia. As a bisexual woman, Ethel had to tread through a highly charged terrain in which the society was manifestly discriminating against anyone with an inclination towards homosexuality. She had same-sex relationships that were scandalous for early 20th century society. Despite all these, Ethel Waters had phenomenal talent, yet she stayed under attack most of her life when people called her immoral because of her sexual relationships. But with her voice, she did break barriers on Broadway and in Hollywood. She died at the age of 82 from heart failure, but her legacy is the motivation for future generations of artists and activists. The power lies in Waters' taking action against difficult social conditions, using her voice for what she believed to be just, and trying at every opportunity to get the world to take notice.
Should my heart be lonely?
Number 30, Claudia Cardinali, The Silent Strength. Claudia Cardinali is one of the greatest actresses in Italy, but was always in controversy because of her affair with both men and women. Although she never boasted her sexuality or confirmed it, rumors started to circulate about her private life. Cardinali's refusal to fit into the Hollywood women's mold, along with having a private nature, always was a mysterious figure to everyone. In real life or not, this actress has seen and experienced whispers and gossip that make Hollywood's obsession with image darker.
You deserve better.
The last man who told me that is buried out there.
We have seen that behind these bright lights of Hollywood lies the stories of heartbreak, scandal, and unimaginable tragedy. These actresses were icons on screen, but they are also rebels who did live authentically at a time when living authentically came with very heavy costs. And their lives remind you that no amount of fame protects you from struggle or judgment. So the next time you watch a Hollywood classic or see a new star rise, remember the battles that were fought behind the scenes to pave the way for today's freedom of expression. And if you enjoyed this journey through Hollywood's hidden history, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think faced the toughest challenges, and which story surprised you the most? Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on more captivating Hollywood tales and deep dives into the lives of the stars. Thanks for watching.